Hello everyone. Um, Before I get started on showing you what I'm about to show you, in order to prevent a lot of confusion that'll happen, I had to go ahead and switch these two. Um, the top of my, over here, this top part will now be number 1, and this bottom part will now be number 2. And it has to do with the side that it's input into my full adders. Simply because in the full adder, since this is a mirrored version of the original one, in the original one, the right is number 1 and the left is number 2. But since this is a mirrored version, the left is number 1 and the right is number 2. It doesn't actually matter which way you put it in, but in the math later on, especially when we start doing subtracting, which is what this video is about and what these things are for, it's going to make a huge difference. So, what with negative binary and stuff like that. So, you're going to want to go ahead and switch those two signs. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. You can either switch these two signs or go ahead and learn negative binary. So, yeah. I'll go ahead and start. Those white things you saw over there, those are called XOR gates. And I have some over here. Remember my spoilers. I have 3 right here set up already. And basically, what XOR gates do is they take in 2 inputs, 1, 2, and if the inputs are the same, then the output is off. But if the inputs are different, say I flip the switch, it changes that to on. If the inputs are different, then the output is on. So it's based on these two being different. If they're the same, off. If they're different, on. Now, the way this is going to be implemented into the calculator, and I've already done it, but the way it works is these inputs, the ones on the right here, will be the binary input from number 1, or number 2, I guess now. Yeah, from number 2. They're going to be the binary input. And the binary is going to go in, and these are going to go into the full adders. And basically what's going to happen is, if it's on, this will just turn on, like normal, as if it wasn't there. But if I flip the switch, it'll turn off. It'll send the input on into the left side of all of these because they're connected underground. And I can simply, now, say I do this. Normally, this input would be 5, 1, 0, 1. But because of the XOR gates, the second input being on, it's going to change it. It's actually going to come out 0, 1, 0. And the reason that happens is, since both of these are on, this is off. So what it does is it makes the inverse of whatever binary number you put in. So if I put in 1, 1, 1, 1, it's going to put in 0, 0, 0, 0, if it's on. If it's off, it's just going to go in normally. See? 1, 0, 1. Very simple. So the way I have these set up is pretty much the way they're set up in the calculator. I'll go back to the calculator and show you now. Now, here they are. As you can see, all it does is, remember the bottom is now number 2. So what it does is it takes the output from the RAM for number 2, and it simply puts it in here, and it goes through here and to the adder, to the input 2 on the adder. And now, these are 1-bit full adders, but they can also be 1-bit full subtractors. And these XOR gates is what makes them subtractors. The rule for subtracting with adders is simply this. You take one of the numbers, one of your 2 binary numbers, and I did number 2, as you can see, and you inverse it. So if it's 1, 0, 1, 0, you make it 0, 1, 0, 1. And then you add 1 to the carry-in right here. Remember, this is the carry-in of the first adder, and I'm just adding it in. So, for a subtraction process, I would simply light both of these, set it to subtract, which will turn on all of these XOR gates on the left, on their left side. If you look at it this way, on the left side, they're all connected underground. It's just a simple connection, nothing too fancy. And it's going to turn on this input, and that'll turn off that. So if I have 1, 0, 1, I'll have that output over there on, this off, this on, and that off, right? So this one will be on. What'll happen is this will turn on, and I'll turn off this redstone torch. And this one will already be off because I'm going to set it to subtract, which is going to turn this on and turn off this torch. And since they're both going to be the same, it's going to be off. Normally, if it was off, if my subtraction feature was off, this would be on, and they would be different, which would mean that this would be on. It is kind of confusing. So what I am going to do, since it is Turkey Day, I will go ahead and make another series of videos explaining logic gates and how they work, and I'll also go ahead and explain some minor binary. So that'll be a big help for you guys, especially for those of you guys who you just hear the word logic gate and you're like, what? I did a lot of reading to learn this. Alright, so as you can see, that's how it's implemented. It's not hard to do. Now, the left side of all of the XOR gates, these white things, the left side, are all connected, and they're all connected to here, to this, all the way over there, and this goes all the way back to the decoder. I'll follow it in a second. But they also go over here to the carry-in, because when all of these are on, the carry-in is on as well, because that's what's going to do our subtraction for us. So I'm just going to follow this back and show you where it goes. It just goes over here, and it connects to this lever. For now, it's just going to be a lever. In order for it to be a button, we'd have to add more RAM, and it's a big process. So it's just going to be a lever, and it says subtract right there. So what happens is we're just going to turn on the subtraction, and it doesn't really matter when you turn it off, but I like to turn it on first. So there's our subtraction. And I'm going to do 6 minus 3. So here's 6. And I'm going to lock that into our button 1. This is number 1 now. Remember that, the one on the right. And I'm going to do minus 3. So this is 3 right here. I'm going to put this into number 2. There you go. Okay. Now, it's locked in. Both my numbers are locked in. And my subtraction feature is on. See? On. This goes through here to the carry on over there. And it also goes to here, which turns on all these. Now, my first number was 6. Right? That's the top one. So if I look at the left sides, I should get 6. This is 0, this is 1, this is 1, this is 0. 0, 1, 1, 0 is 6 because it's 8 plus 4, 0 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0. So that's 6. My second number was 3. 3 would normally be 1, 1. It'd be 0, 0, 1, 1 because that'd be 0 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1, 3. But I have my XOR gates on now, so it flips it and it makes it 1, 1, 0, 0. And now my add 1 is in. So 6 minus 3 is 3, correct? So I should end up with 3. 0, 0, 1, 1. That is 0 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1, which is 3. So my subtraction feature does actually work. Now, I'm going to go ahead and reset my RAM, turn off my subtraction feature, and try adding one more time, and see if these XOR gates have in any way messed up my adding feature. So I'm just going to do 9. Oops, put that into number 2. It doesn't really matter. When you're, yeah, it doesn't really matter. 9 And I'll do... Which one should I do? Let's do, what's this, 6? This is 5. Okay, 9 plus 5. 9 plus 5. That's 14. So that's a redstone torch. There we go. 14. Let's go back over here. And we have 1110. That is 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0. 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So our adding does still work. And our XOR gates are off. See this? The second one is off. You can tell that because the torch is on. See? And our carry-in is off as well. So that's a look at how to do subtracting on our calculator. Now that our calculator can subtract, the next function I'm going to think is multiplication. So I'll get started on reading how to do multiplication because I have no idea how to do that. And I'll try to get the video up tomorrow on multiplication. If not tomorrow, then the day after. But for now, happy Thanksgiving. Let's all go get fat and have a good day.